Member from Parry, Sound-Muskoka.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the acting Premier. I, like many Ontarians, was shocked at yesterday's decision by Cliffs Natural Resources to pull out of the Ring of Fire. What is truly unfortunate is the amount of unheeded warnings that your government received throughout the process. The Premier deflected my questions here in the House numerous times, and one instead chose to reminisce about paddling on the Attawapiskat River. Acting Premier, back in April, Bill Boer, Senior Vice President of Cliffs, said, quote, company officials have yet to talk with representatives of Premier Kathleen Wynne's government. He went on, quote, as we approach a year since the agreement in terms that's become more of a concern, close quote. In September, he said, since last winter's provincial leadership change, talks with Queen's Park have stalled. Acting Premier, it is clear that the blame lies squarely on the shoulders of your government. Who in your government is going to be held accountable for your failure on this matter?
Be seated, please. Be seated, please. Thank you. Deputy Premier.
Minister, Speaker, I'll refer this to the Minister of Northern Development and Mines.
Minister of Northern Development and Mines.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Let me begin by saying that our government, our province, remains absolutely committed to seeing smart, sustainable, and collaborative development in the Ring of Fire project. This is an extraordinary, multi-generational economic development activity, no mineral potential worth $60 billion, and we know that there is extraordinary interest in this. And I will certainly say that I am disappointed with the decision and the announcement that Cliffs made, but also appreciate their continued interest in the project. What's really important is that we continue to move forward to develop this project. We are going to work diligently to ensure that we are ready to support this development, and we're going to remain firmly committed to working with any and all interested parties to develop the region. The fact is, Mr. Speaker, that we are taking strong action to move the project forward. We are bringing partners together to create a development corporation.
Thank you. Supplementary.
Well, again, to the acting Premier, how many generations do we have to wait? Acting Premier, what is so shameful is your government has been bragging about developing the Ring of Fire for years now. May 9th, 2012, your government issued a press release. It stated, thousands of jobs coming to Northern Ontario. The release also touted a refinery in Capriol, promising to employ 450 people during the construction, as many as 450 people in 2015 when it was scheduled to be operational. Acting Premier, you sold hope to the people of Northern Ontario and have failed to deliver. First Nation communities, cities like Thunder Bay and Sudbury are all waiting for the investment jobs that this project would bring. You're sitting on the largest deposit of chromite ever discovered in North America.
Question.
Acting Premier, why have you failed to bring the promised jobs and prosperity that Ontario so desperately needs?
Be seated, please. Be seated, please. Thank you. Minister.
Speaker, we are working incredibly hard and providing really strong action to move this project forward. We are establishing a development corporation that will bring together any and all interested partners to this project. That certainly includes the historic consultations that were undertaken with the Matawa First Nation, important partners, other industry partners, let alone further discussions with Cliffs that we intend to continue to have to bring a corporation. And may I say, Mr. Speaker, we are also making significant investments in communities, both First Nations and other northern communities, bringing forward and skills upgrading. But let's also make sure, Mr. Speaker, that we recognize how important it is to bring the federal government to the table. We're calling on them to bring matching funds. We are prepared to make very significant investments in this project. That commitment remains, but we need the federal government to come to the table. The fact is they have made strong commitments to other projects, Newfoundland and Labrador, hydroelectric project, so we need you to come
Thank you.
on the federal government. We need all people.
Thank you. Be seated, please. Be seated, please.
You do know they've canceled.
This is moving downward together. Final supplementary.
Again to the acting premier. How did things get so far off the rails that Cliffs, the major player in the Ring of Fire, has pulled the plug on their development? You had plenty of warnings, yet even in the face of prominent miners publicly raising concerns about, quote, unresolved agreements with the Government of Ontario that are critical to the project's economic viability, you insisted that the Ring of Fire was moving ahead. Well, yesterday, Cliffs announced that it would be shuttering its mining camp in the Ring of Fire, closing offices in Thunder Bay and in Toronto. Acting Premier, what do you have to say to these hard-working people who are now out of work as a direct result of your government's failure?
Mr. Speaker, there continues to be an extraordinary high level of interest among industry, among First Nations, and among me. I hope to see the federal government is seeing this project move forward. We are taking very strong action to move it forward.
Member from Burlington will come to order.
Close relationship with Cliff.
Be seated, please. Because she was very much engaged and probably even with my mic on didn't hear me, the member from Burlington will come to order.
This project is moving forward, Mr. Speaker. There's no question about it. There's an extraordinary high level of interest, and we are going to continue to have our discussions. The formation of a development corporation is crucial to seeing this project moving forward. We are bringing together any and all partners, and I would like to actually have the members of the opposition, let alone members of the third party, recognize the important work that's being done with the First Nations as well. We need to create the climate to allow the private sector to get involved. But we understand how important infrastructure is. That's why we put in place the Development Corporation. That's why we're going to continue to work with all our partners in this project, a $60 billion project in terms of mineral potential. And part of the problem is they've never seen development before.
Thank you.